What's up, YouTube? Here's another video for you. It's more of a question video than anything else. I've been thinking lately, there's a division in the knife world, so to speak, that there's knife collectors and there's knife users. There's nothing wrong with either of them. If I had more money, I would be an insane knife collector. There's lots of stuff out there I want, but I just don't have the money for it. So I want to make something like this. I don't know, an EDC type knife for around 150 bucks. This one is CTS HXP, and it has a sheep put blade and whatever. I'm gonna talk about this one more a little bit later, but I want to make it for around 150 bucks. It doesn't have to be that steel. It could be CPM 154. I like 3V for when I heard about it. I haven't worked with it yet. I think I'm going to work with CTS PD1. It's basically the same steel. They also have Z-Wear from Zap too, but that one's more expensive than the PD1. But I want to make a knife, an EDC type knife, for around $150. I just can't seem to figure out how I'm going to do that, because by the time I figure out, all the shipping costs to get the materials used, all the machines, basically every expense within the knife, I will be losing money in it. But I want to put out, I want to get that down there where I can make money, but I can give people a good deal. I can give the average everyday knife user, or even people that don't even use knives that much, and bring them into the community and get them, started, with knives and liking knives or whatever. So if you guys have any suggestions for that, please let me know how to cut some costs, not corners, no corner cutting, just cost cutting. That's the best way to do it. For this, I like this design for me. Sheep's foot has good indexing for your thumb. The points below the point of your thumb, so if you're opening stuff, it's good for that. Offers a more robust tip. This blade shape is more conducive to ease of sharpening because it goes with the natural movement of your hand when sharpening on a bench stone. That's how I set the edges and sharpen all my knives. Do everything by hand. And they're all going to be ground thin on these knives. The $150 model, they're going to have two sides. This one is going to be hand rub and mirror for this one, but for the model of this, the $150 range, it's probably going to be belt satin, and I'd like to get up to A65, and then a fine Scotch-Brite finish there, and a little bit of jimping up here. I might keep this here and then just slightly knock that off, because keeping this crisp edge right here is an extra step, and to the end user, that's extra money. Nothing fancy on the handle for the production, one, or the model one, probably be micarta. Obviously, it can't be carbon fiber or anything fancy because it's more money. Ouch, just cut myself on that edge. The edge up here. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think of this one, but I kind of like this model. This is obviously just ground before heat treat, so I did take it up to A16, but it's not hardened. There's any nothing on it. I still have to do the file work up top. My next question, before I forget, if anybody, I know they have 14-inch wheels for grinders, and that's all great, and, fine. I'm probably gonna get one, but what I would like to have is a 16-inch wheel. You might ask why. Okay, well, the reason is most of my knives are much wider than this. They're wide. They're wider, and you only can go so high in a grind with certain stock thickness at a given degree of thousandths here. I like anywhere from 10 to 20 thousandths. 25 being at the top end, maximum 25 thousandths, and that's I don't like that. But 10, I like 10 thousandths. But the problem I run into if I do too high of a grind is, since it's circular, when you go in it, the wheel is, a sphere, not a sphere but a circle. It gets thin in here if you press too hard. Now, I don't press at all. I use barely any pressure when I'm grinding, but it still gets thinner here since it's a hollow grind, hollow. So if I had a 16-inch wheel, I could take the grinds higher, still keep the lean edge, and have better cutting performance. So if anybody knows if a 16-inch wheel, it'd be much appreciative. I don't really know if anybody even makes one, but I could do some really, really, really nice hollow grinds with that, because it would be, I can make them super high and very, very thin at the edge. I've had two knives so far that I screwed up on, that I took the bevel too high, and in here, in the middle, it's not so much the edge which will get damaged, it's in here, it gets thin, where you can take your thumb or finger and move that. And that's the way I test them. It's not scientific or anything, but I test them before I send them out, or do, when I get done with them. I'll take a piece of steel or marker or file, whatever handy, and press on it, kind of like the brass rod test. You press the edge against it and see if it moves. Now, if it moves at all for me, I either basically throw it away or redesign it and slim this down, slowly cutting this down and reshaping this in here to get it to where it's I don't want to say safe, but it's optimal. It's still strong hollow. I don't want a weak hollow. This one is ground, it's a shallow hollow grind. I don't mean shallow by the depth up, but in here it's not deep. If you just almost look at it, it doesn't look deep at all. Right in here. Some look really deep. This one, is not. That's why I like it. So, yeah, I think that's just about it. Tomorrow I will be posting a video for Cliff of the CTS HXP batch that I'm having sent out to heat treat, and I would like him to pick a knife that he wants for testing. I was thinking I'm still probably going to do hand rub satin and mirror, and then maybe a hammer tone rounded spine finish. I was thinking micarta for this one. The carbon fiber costs are pretty high. But yeah. Oh, Cliff, if you want a taper tang, when you pick the knife, let me know, and I'll taper the tang before I send it to heat treat. I did have one that I tapered. It wasn't a taper tang, but it was from the thumb ramp down taper, so I could bring the handle up in here. But it got real thin. I mean, it's still a functional knife, but I just don't really care for it, because the thumb ramp comes up too high in here, and I feel that it's going to interfere with the cutting ability. So let me know, and I'll get to that. I was just looking at this edge here. It's pretty good job. I wish. Here, I'll compare it to one of my business cards I got here. So it's thinner than the business card, definitely. I would say, getting double vision, I'd probably say it's half of this business card. So, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And remember, Any suggestions for the $150 range of this similar knife? Any suggestions to cut the cost? And 16-inch wheel. If you know anybody that makes one, please let me know. Thank you.